Star Wars Celebration is upon us, and a lot of Star Wars fans out there are really looking forward to some of the announcements that Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are about to make. But the real deal, by the way, guys, is going to be at D23. That's where we are getting most of the announcements for the future of this brand and the overall franchise, and exactly where Disney's really going with this overall stretch of the Star Wars roadmap. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new, and like this video to see future Star Wars updates. I'm also on Twitter at Mike01. I thank you all so very much for the great and kind support. Now, given that there's a lot of things happening between, everything related to the Mandoverse and Jon and Dave exploring different eras of the franchise that we have never seen before, or eras taken directly from Star Wars Legends that's going to become basically canon and adapted into live action. There's also a lot of other things that we are about to embrace when it comes to all the different storylines that they are about to tell. Now, one thing about Gina Carano, we know that it's been well over 2 years now since her firing, since Kathleen Kennedy really laid her off in the worst way possible through social media, and basically her termination getting leaked out there on the internet through Twitter. And so we are here now. It's April of 2023. It's crazy how fast time just flies by. And what Jon and Dave have recently pitched to the Disney executives that they are in full agreement with is very reassuring about Gina Carano's involvement in the future of the franchise. So let's dive right into it and let's discuss. Now, the thing about what's really going on here has a lot to do with the expansion of all the characters that were pretty much introduced in the Mandoverse, right? We know that basically Ahsoka Tano was a Mandoverse character that made her first appearance in Season 2. Now she has her own series, and basically they want to keep rolling on in that format, introducing characters and giving them shows. Now, with that being, of course, put out there, with Disney executives getting ready to make big announcements at D23 later this year, one of the recent developments involving actress Gina Carano has to do with her involvement in a new upcoming Star Wars project that Bob Iger is now moving ahead with. Now, it's noted that many executives and Bob Iger are now in full discussion on how they would include Gina Carano as Cara Dune in the second season of Ahsoka, with Jon and Dave, of course, are about to begin writing sometime by this fall or early 2024. There are now full-on plans to hire Gina Carano for the continuation of the Ahsoka Tano series, to hold many scenes with characters like Ezra Bridger, Bo-Katan, and Sabine Wren. Disney is also looking to make Gina's role in this project very significant, and not just a cameo or a small appearance. This was all pitched by Jon and Dave to the Disney executives first, and they are now rolling with it and just trying to find a way to make this work for the fans. Jon and Dave are also mapping out scenes for Cara Dune, to have moments with Luke Skywalker in the second season of Star Wars Ahsoka. This is something that Disney is impressed with from Dave Filoni with his help of Favreau, and that they are also planning to give Gina another complete redesign, and of course change, in this project once it's developed. So let me stop right here quickly for 1 second before I get to the next big development piece, is that we know that Jon and Dave love Cara Dune as a character, and they had a great time with Gina Carano. They had nothing against her, they had no problems with Gina. In fact, Jon Favreau even said endlessly that Gina was the most sincere, bubbly personality on set. And that's, very much, showing that he has a lot of, great relationships, with people on the sets, including Gina Carano. And the fact that he spoke so highly of her, obviously Jon Favreau was let down about Kathleen Kennedy's decision 2 years ago of getting rid of her from Mando Season 3, not only because, he got along with Gina, but it also did cause a great impact on, their overall story plans for Mando Season 3, and they had to do some rewrites with the script and changing their notes at the time in the early process of what Season 3 was going to be about, all these different aspects, right? And so, this big plan now to throw Gina Carano's Cara Dune in Star Wars Ahsoka Season 2 is a very big deal. And the reason why it's a big deal is because Disney executives, they do want to make Ahsoka the new flagship series. They eventually want to move on from the Mandalorian series and focus on a new flagship. So basically, Disney's format with Star Wars on Disney Plus is that they want to create alternating flagship shows. Right now, it's The Mandalorian. Eventually, they want to make it Ahsoka. Once that expires, they want to make something else the new flagship show. And I'm not quite sure how fans will feel about that, of having these temporary flagship shows. It may be a great way to kind of keep things in balance to prevent people from getting tired of specific flagship series, but I digress. On to the next thing here is that Disney is also now finally moving ahead with full-fledged plans to revive Rangers of the New Republic, with a brand new title that will also bring back Cara Dune in a major way, portrayed by Gina Carano. However, the specific offer to Gina will be made final sometime by this June. In addition to this, Gina's deleted scenes from Mando Season 2 that we talked about recently are going to receive additional editing to be completed for the Mando Season 2 Special Edition, due for release in 2024. Kennedy and the executives loyal to her, at no surprise, are trying to put a full stop and halt to these Gina Carano rehiring plans and the return of Cara Dune, as she believes the character's image would only spark toxicity in the Star Wars fandom and tarnish the brand even further. So, again, we already know that everybody, of course, has differing opinions on everyone related to, of course, the Star Wars franchise. You know, we know that some fans love, the plans for Gina Carano, other fans are going to hate these plans. And that's okay. Listen, everyone has their own opinions about Gina and Cara Dune and whatnot, right? You're not going to change people's mindsets. But what Disney can change is what they want John and Dave to do and what they want to do to please a large portion of the fan base. There's no doubt about it that Gina Carano had so much support when she was fired. She did. We saw this rise, or this big, increase in activity of people buying the Gina Carano Cara Dune merchandise, people talking more about Gina and her character Cara Dune. And in a way, obviously, once she was fired, it made the Cara Dune character a little bit more special than it was beforehand. And so, it's very interesting now that Disney executives are beginning to welcome her with open arms. And I don't think it's genuine, I will be honest. I don't believe it's genuine on Disney's end. I think it is genuine with John and Dave, yes. But on Disney's end, I think that they just see this as a business opportunity. There's obviously some kind of ulterior motive from rehiring Gina. They're not just doing this out of niceness. Let's be real and bold here. They are absolutely doing this because it's a business move. It'll bring fans back, or it will at least make some fans satisfied or a little bit more, less skeptical about Disney's operations with the franchise. So, anyways, I'm really intrigued what you guys have to say about this whole plan for Ahsoka Season 2 by John, Dave, and the Disney executives. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Gun in hand, we are alone again. No hiding on one. From night to moon, we hear them moans again.